Well, hi everybody. We are live, and this is Body Electrician Live, and we're glad you could join us tonight. And even if you can't, you could still check this out on YouTube. So let me introduce you to everybody tonight. Cheryl Whitehouse is with us. She's the other hostess. Say hi, Cheryl.
Hi.
Say hi real loud so they can see your face.
Hello from California.
There you go. And we have Bob C. Say hi, Bob.
I'm not on yet. I don't have to say hi. Remember, I come on later.
You're on with us now. Everything's completely different. Who knows where we're going tonight? It's going to be a different kind of show. And we have Dr. Will Spencer. Say hi. Hi, Will.
Hi, Will.
There you go.
And Will's cardigan is brought to us by You'reTooOldForThisSweater.com. That's right. Come to You'reTooOldForThisSweater.com for all your old person sweater needs.
I like this sweater.
I like that sweater. All right, so we're having a sweater. And I have a sweater on, too. We're all going to take our sweaters off later, right, folks? What? Okay, so let's get back.
Not until after the drinks.
The after party. Okay.
The after-hour party.
Right now, people are shutting us off because they're saying, what are these people talking about?
No, they're not, because we didn't have any listeners anyway.
However, they might want to...
Lord knows this might be the chance for them to turn us on.
Ooh. Anyway, so Will, we just had you up on Long Island, lucky me. We had you up here. And that went very well, by the way. So well that they invited you back. Isn't that nice?
Awesome. Awesome.
September, though, correct? We're going to do September?
September.
September. There's a lot of songs written for September. It's going to be a good time.
So what is the miracle food on Long Island this month? Is it sort of like a concentrated lobster, or is it like, you know, maybe a beef Wellington sort of tincture? I mean, you know.
No.
Actually, if you go to Nancy's husband's restaurant out there on Shelter Island, the duck was good.
Yes, thank you, Will. That was called View. V-U-E. Cool restaurant.
Oh, named after my favorite talk show. How nauseating.
Oh, no, that's why we spelled it differently. I said, you can't connect with that, so.
Well, you didn't say it differently, and this isn't Braille, so.
Well, anyway, so, Will, you know what we thought we'd talk about tonight? Not that we're sticking to that tonight, but that's all right. We thought we'd talk about allergies and the fact that my son, little Jojo, has had quite an issue with the allergies. And,
so do you mean real allergies, or do you mean the allopathic medicine version of allergies, which is really like sensitivities?
Okay. You have a way of putting it quite differently, which is where the information hits the back wall there. So.
Yeah, we're going to throw it on the wall and see if it sticks.
That's right. So actually, I probably said it wrong because I, just working on things. But anyway, yeah. So no, actually, he was having symptoms. How about we go there? He was having really harsh symptoms with his nose running, itchiness in the back of the throat. Eyes were a mess. I mean, waking up with like crusties every morning. And I said, all right, let's get you a scan, which I did. And went on his protocol for about 2 days. I am not kidding. 2 days started to feel better. About a week later now, and it's gone. So really, it's a pretty amazing thing. But I did want to say that he has histamine. That's what came up on his scan report. It was histamine. It was pretty high. So I don't know. I thought we could talk about that because I think a lot of people are going through that right now. But you have such a different perspective on it, and there's where you come in, Will.
Yeah, if it was really allergies, you'd be like, throat swelled shut, can't breathe, So the things that you just mentioned, the itchiness in the throat, so then most of the time that's a fungal or a bacterial upper sinus infection. Same way with getting the crusty eyes in the morning. That's just the body naturally getting the junk out because it can't. Like the system's so congested, the body will start to push stuff out right.
Oop, you're freezing there, Will. Hold on.
And is more or less the result of a upper respiratory infection of some kind, and the body just responds. And here we're a spring.
Right. We're losing you a little bit, Will. So we'll just talk amongst ourselves till you come back. So yeah, it is a different way of looking at it. Are you still there, Will? We see your picture, but we don't see you. I mean, we don't hear you. Okay, Cheryl.
Are you there?
You're back, Will. That was kind of weird.
Oh, boy.
You're in and out. There is a song called that. But anyway, continue with what you were saying, Will, about the way our bodies react to.
Well, it's in the springtime, and can you hear me okay?
There are a lot of things coming off the trees and things like that, and that can affect us. But you're saying it's a little different than what we're led to believe.
Right. We're having a little technical thing, so I didn't hear all of what you asked there,
Okay.
Nancy.
Well, then you know what? We'll just get back into what you were saying about the itchiness in the back of the throat and all of those type of symptoms that he was having.
Well, it's springtime, and you guys live in the rural area, so you have trees and leaves. Spring. So, and everybody's outside more, and we're breathing this stuff in, and it gets into us, and if our immune system is challenged at all, and we get an upper respiratory infection. And so sensitivity, yes, but sensitivity more to the...
Right?
You guys seem to be like in slow motion there.
Yeah, I know. We're having a little trouble tonight. Oh, and for some reason, Dr. No was turned off. Bob, are you back? I thought you did that yourself.
I did do it myself.
Oh, well, I undid you. There's something.
If you leave him muted, it'll be easier on the bandwidth.
Okay. You could undo that, Bob. I'm sorry.
Story of my life, getting undid by women.
Anyway, Will, we keep interrupting you. I'm sorry. We're having a little difficulty tonight, but carry on, sir. What were you saying? Are you still there? Oh. Will, do you hear us? Okay, we're having trouble with Will's audio tonight. So, Cheryl, do you hear me?
Yes, I do. I have my own sensitivity story that has been radically changed since working with Will.
Okay.
For years and years, probably since I was in my 20s, I had a sensitivity whenever I would go outside certain times of the year, usually late spring and late summer. I would get itchy all over my body, like inside my ears, my eyes, everywhere. There was no physical signs or anything. My nose wasn't running or anything. I could feel it in my mouth and my throat, just itchy everywhere. I know I couldn't go hiking, or I just went anyhow, go hiking or do gardening and stuff. And it varied in severity, but since working with Will, it has, within, I'd say about 2 months of working with him, it went away. And it doesn't bother me anymore, and I can garden, I can eat the tomatoes out of my own yard, I can go hiking, and it's great. It's just a great thing. So that's that.
Yeah, that's quite an improvement. I mean, that's what I saw with my son as well. That it didn't take long, a couple of days. I mean, not everything is like that. Some things take a little time for the body to heal.
Yeah.
But that seemed to just boom, right away he felt better. I could see it. I could see the way he was waking up in the morning. It was quite an improvement. But yeah, so that's we thought that would be a good topic tonight, just because so many people are dealing with that. And Will is back. I'm wondering, Will, is your connection a little bit better? Say hello, Will.
Hello, Will.
There you go. I hear you better, and I see you.
Yeah, sound better, yeah.
Yes. So, Will, Cheryl was just saying that she has had similar symptoms to what JoJo had, but not quite the itchy throat. Cheryl, is that what it was?
Everywhere.
Oh, you were itchy everywhere. So, you know, I mean, and the same thing with her, that she started feeling so much better. And I had a similar experience too. I mean, a couple of years ago, I had, you know, you forget when things go away. That's what I always find so interesting. You forget when you start feeling good. That you once didn't feel so good, is what my point is.
Yeah.
It's amazing the memory disappears on how bad you really felt when you start feeling good.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Well, I mean, we could, I did mention before that it was his histamine level was up. That was one of his highest numbers, my son. I find that kind of interesting that, it was right there on the scan. Do you see that often, Will? I think we just lost Will again.
Histamine shows up quite often.
Yeah.
And yet I've never seen it before, Will. I've done several scans with him and have not seen that. I'll have to look back a year ago around this time and see if it was there, but recently I haven't seen it. So it is interesting how there it was, histamine. And so what do you think, Will, is going on? Like, why does the protocol have that effect on the body?
Well, when you get a scan, it looks at what's stressing the body, and you can, I don't have his scan in front, so I can't tell you what's on it, but there's usually, quite often in the spring and the fall, there's a notably higher quantity of viruses, bacteria, and fungi for sure.
Yes.
And a lot of other airborne things. And the body responds to that environment that we're living in that gets more concentrated with the pathogens, with the microorganisms, and then the body becomes sensitive because it's just that far out of balance. It has a problem with, or it has a harder time adjusting or dealing with the higher microbial count, if you will.
Okay.
Did JoJo have any emotional stress too at the time?
That's a good question. Nothing's coming to my mind right now except, oh, wait a minute. Interesting you said that. He was doing those ridiculous tests, those Common Core tests. Yeah, so that makes sense. Wow, good one, Cheryl. Bingo!
So just having that kind of stress in the life can lower the immunity.
Absolutely. I didn't even think of that. Didn't even connect to that. Wow.
See what you learn in conversation?
See that? That's why we have these conversations. We have a lot of cool conversations on the Facebook page, right, Cheryl?
Yeah, we do. And
Cheryl,
we have
part of that.
frequent contributors that we wanted to thank and acknowledge.
Yeah, go for it. A little kitchen talk. Go ahead, Cheryl.
Okay. We had Dina McCall Crow, Simone, who's been posting pictures of her delicious-looking food, Karima Firewalker, Lisa Cassio, Sandy White, Jeremy Schaefer, Veronica Devers, Veronica Cirilli Mao, and Elizabeth Starnig. Thank you all for contributing. And more people, the more the merrier. just jump on in and get in on the conversations.
Yeah, it's great. It's great to see people participating so much because that makes it fun for us. And like I was kind of hoping people would come on here and do a Q&A with us, but I don't see anything yet. And there's my doggy going berserk. No questions yet, but that's okay. That's okay. We have enough questions going on right here, right? Okay, so are you still around, Bob? Because we thought it might be interesting to bring you back in. Because Bob is not just a...
Are you round, Bob?
he's around.
Yes, I'm around. I'm global.
Yeah, because Bob, you also are a client of Will's, and I don't know if you're up for sharing that, but it's quite an interesting story how you two met, and I'd love it if you share it.
Well, I guess if I wasn't, it's too fucking bad since you just brought it up, huh?
Well, I did ask you before.
A channel, A channel.
Yeah, kitties.
No, this is not the A channel. If the FCC was involved here, I'd be asleep. Yeah, I don't even know how long ago it's been. How can we put it? I guess I was the opposite, like literally. I never had ailments. I never had afflictions. I healed physically very fast. Never got sick, and thought it was kind of fairly normal. And however many years ago, it was a couple of years now, something got into me that kind of kicked my butt and almost killed me, literally. And when regular medicine sent me home to hospice, I happened to be listening to the radio and heard Will on a radio show, and I called in just like out of the blue, and it was the funniest thing. I mean, at the time I wasn't really eating anything. I mean, I was pretty far gone, and I had this urge for raw meat, like literally. I could smell it. So I spent what was like the last energy I had, like driving to the store, and I had some and felt better. Ended up talking to Wu on the phone, and we chatted for a bit. And I didn't know the guy from Adam, but he was just like, okay, you know what? I need to overnight you some stuff. You need to start taking this right away. Blah 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 blah. And it was probably about 4 days. I was out of bed and up and around, and we're talking coming from the standpoint of I would literally just pass out, drop to the floor unconscious, and it could last anywhere from a couple of hours to a couple of days. So that is how I met Wu and cleaned up my blood, which took some time. This is not like magic pill stuff. This is deep stuff to anybody that thinks it's not. It's not just nutritional and biological. There's a lot of mental stuff to it. But ended up cleaning up my blood, and my eating habits fortunately were always pretty good, I guess, because of the way I was raised. I was never a bad eater at all, so I guess that saved me some. But I even made that a little bit better, like joined farm co-op, stuff like that. I only eat organic off local farms, don't eat anything out of a box, just like little things like that. And it's, people that tell me it's like such a big deal or so life altering or whatever. I'll tell you what, the two best things that you could do at this moment, and I don't care how you did them, stop eating at a drive-through, and don't eat anything that comes in cardboard or a plastic bag. Do those two things. I don't care what else you do. Do those two things. You'll improve your health 50%.
Wow. Write that down, folks. That's a good one. Do you remember? Did you do a scan for that in the beginning, Bob, or it was just based on Will's almost like
But let me.
what you might need?
Well, the first phone call, no, but then he sent me the scanner out, and we did one in the next couple of days. But in the beginning, it was just kind of working out the interview process.
I would love to have known what was on there. Will, do you recall it all?
So what he actually, since his comment was, you do realize that some of the stuff that's on here is only rumored to exist, right?
Oh, oh, that's creepy. Wow. Well, I know when my husband had a scan originally, Will brought up something. He said, "Was he in the Navy or any kind of, Army, anything like that?" And I said, "I mean, yeah, but why? Why would you ask that?" And he said, "Well, because there's a certain bacteria that came up that really can only come from that source." Do you remember that, Will? Do you remember saying that? Will, we don't hear you again.
No,
Oh,
sorry.
no, you don't remember that. Yeah, well, you say a lot of interesting things, and then I said, "What did you say? Say it again." And you said, "I don't know what I just said." But
Will and I are spoiled. We're used to Patrick taking notes.
that's right. But Bob, that's some intense story. Wow. I mean, I think a lot of people that come to Will just have, annoyances, things that are going that they just don't feel great. I think that's why I originally came. It was like something's just not right. But you along with some other people show up at Will's door, and it's what a difference. I mean that's like dramatic, really quite dramatic what you went through. And
Well, yeah, too, and like other people, I mean, for a while I was my own worst enemy as it got worse and worse and worse. It was, clutching at different things and different solutions and not following through on a lot of things. And really what this about was like getting off that cycle and just reestablishing some balance.
right. Yeah, that seems to be what Will says a lot. Balance. We need to find the balance. Or our bodies do.
Yeah, well, sure, because people push them from side to side based on, what the latest allopathic savior or gray coat or whoever's got this, whatever the latest pill is, whatever the latest greatest supplement is, and you artificially push your body into a condition it doesn't want to be in because this person who never even friggin' examined you or doesn't know you from Adam told you have some deficiency.
Right. How you doing over there, Will? I see you back.
Yeah, I don't know. We're having some storms, and we did have internet interruptions last night, so
Yeah.
we'll see. It's a lot better now. I'm back, so.
Well, we're glad you're back, Will.
Well, we were just talking about the scans and actually getting readings versus the way people throw their bodies out of balance by listening to all the allopathic and homeopathic miracle pills of the month.
Well, we used to before the scans. We would. I think you came in about that time. We were in the transition, Bob. The 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 process was we had 9-page assessment forms. It's a questionnaire. You fill all these pages out, and then we would have a conversation to figure out what we could use to put together for a recipe to get you to to get your body to healing again. And the scan kind of revolutionized all of that, so we don't even do that anymore, and it's a lot more thorough. I'm so happy with the results since we started with the scanning.
And
I got one thing is if you guys were mute your mics like Bob does. I've been noticing that. I would do it with mine too, and then that'll keep the bandwidth a little tighter, at least for me, because right now having 4 people on here is I think that the problem on my end because of the weather here.
Okay. Yeah, that's you just brought up an interesting point, Will, about I think a lot of people almost expect when they come to you, like some people just are so hardwired to do one of those assessment pages, which you say you used to do, and where they feel almost uncomfortable just saying, "Oh, you mean I just put my hand on this and it's going to tell me what's going on?" Yeah, but don't you need to know every symptom I'm having, and don't you need to know everything about me? And the truth is you really don't. And even when you get the scan, a lot of that you just, I mean, you know, we all have a lot of these things within us. So it's what the protocol is, and that deals with the issues. So I find that you're most concerned about that. And then you're also concerned about the emotional and the energetic level of your being, which I think that's amazing. And when you were out with me, you helped me along with that as well. That was quite amazing. Thank you again. So, anything to say about that, Will? Will, you're still on mute. There you go.
Yeah, you're cutting in and out a lot, Nancy. I'm sorry I didn't hear what you said when we had come out there.
This is a tough night, guys.
Technical difficulties tonight.
Yeah, sorry, folks. But I was talking about how some people very much want that assessment form, and they're so attached to that. They have trouble letting go of that and just saying that the hand scan will give the information. And also,
well,
go ahead.
It's because they're programmed that way, because allopathic medicine operates that way. Most all the naturopathic medicine operates that way. So they're programmed when we don't even need to talk. I mean, most of the people we deal with, we don't even see. Literally. I mean, the hundreds of people, we don't even see them other than just talking with them on the phone or Skype. And it works. It works very well because with the technology nowadays, the computer can actually talk to your body much clearer and actually get much more in-depth data versus you consciously filling out a form. Because then we're forced to just look at what you're able to feel. And most people don't know they have feet until they trip. I mean, they're just that unconscious of things, and you can discover that just by conversation when you ask questions. When I ask questions to people, they are like, what are you asking me that for? Well, I want to know, because you don't really have a conscious connection to most of what's going on in your body. You know, like, can you tell, like before the show, you were a little bit, we were joking around a little bit, and you got blushed. And so, you were aware of that? Could you feel your a little bit of adrenaline there? Feel the temperature rise? You know, it's all these little things that come into play in my mind and the way I think about addressing the body. And that's where the computer with the technology now just, you don't even have to talk. It just, the computer talks to your body. I mean, this is not far-fetched stuff. And people all the time, they'll say, well, how can that be? I'm like, they had computers in the 60s and the 70s that were talking to your body. Your phone does it right now.
Yes, you're right.
You know, so it's just because people are so conditioned for a certain way, like allopathic medicine. They've gone to public school to be programmed to think a certain way. Then you grow up, you go to school to learn how to be in medicine, and they teach you something, and yet it's all based in, most of it's based in nonsense.
Yeah, you and Patrick were speaking about that on your show, Alternate Perspective. I heard you guys.
Yeah, when you see the big picture and things, that just in medicine alone, the early 1800s, medicine got subverted. It got sidetracked over here to this place, this allopathic thinking of a symptomology. When years and years, ancient years, hundreds and thousands of years ago, it was a much more holistic environment people lived in. They were more family orientated. They were more self-conscious, or conscious of the self, and had a different respect level for nature and different respect level for those around them. Today, all that's pretty much been stripped away. It's all about self, but it's in a non-healthy self-view. It's all about what I can take and what I can get and what I can steal. And unfortunately, that's the corporate way. And that's that, that whole climbing up the ladder thing. So, and again, this all ties back into allergies. This all ties back into everything we're talking about, because everything's related to everything.
Yeah, it is.
That's
and this is,
Go
and
ahead.
this is
Go
also
ahead, I'll mute.
tied back to what Will was just saying is the supposed to be's and the wannabes. Is people have this thing in their head that it's supposed to be this way. Well, life's so rough, it's supposed to be this way. I'm supposed to be sick here and there. Or the other side of the coin is that people put themselves in this mental condition because they want to go along for the ride. They feel left out. They want to be included on this. They don't take it seriously. They don't approach all the angles that need to be approached. So it's just one of those things where, like, hey, everybody else is doing it, I think I'm going to do it too. It sounds cool.
Right. Sorry, we're muting our mics a little bit, and it's creating a delay there.
Yeah, I know that one whole button there, Mrs. Jetson.
It's a mile away, Bob. I got to reach up and get it. You know me and buttons. I don't know.
We'll get you a big stick so you don't have to reach so far.
That's it. I need a selfie stick. Is that what I need? Okay.
A broomstick.
A broomstick. That I have. Just ask my kids once in a while. Oh. All right, so who's adding to this? You guys are all muted. Wow. They're waiting for me to talk.
Well, you're the hostess. You're supposed to. You and Cheryl, you're supposed to keep this train rolling.
The hostess with the mostest. Where are you, Cheryl? You've been very quiet again. Ms. Cheryl, chime in. No? Okay. Cheryl might be having a little trouble, too. Don't forget we're talking to everybody's in quite a different location. We've got Cheryl all the way in San Diego. Bob is in Texas. I'm on Long Island, and Will is all the way in West Virginia. So we're all over the place. The modern technology is pretty cool. Right, Bob?
Yeah, we could do a better job with Campbell's soup cans and some fishing line.
Exactly. Cheryl, you're back. There you are.
Yeah, I'm back.
So Cheryl, it's similar where you are, though. But you guys don't get the same seasons we get, and in Texas too. I mean, you guys, we seem to this area here. It's 4 seasons. I don't know out by you guys if you actually get that. Is it a winter? You literally get a winter where everything kind of dies and falls off in California?
Not so much. This winter particularly, we've had a lot of up and down weather. I mean, like, we've had weeks that have gone into like the 90s and the hundreds, and then it goes back down again. A lot of up and down, and a lot of people here have had upper respiratory problems.
Okay. So you're getting people coming to you looking for scans, saying...
Yeah, they've had things that have gone on for weeks and months,
Right.
kind of pneumonia sort of things. Yeah.
Well, I had a friend who had quite a problem, an upper respiratory problem too, and I brought her over a canister of the little huffer, and within a few days she was feeling better, and a week later I said, "What's up?" She says, "Oh, it's gone." And it's funny how people just, it's gone, you know. I think that's huge. But
yeah, Little Huffer has been a real popular product here too.
Oh, yeah. Right, Will? A Will?
You'll have to repeat me. Right? What?
Oh, we were talking about Little Huffer. How the you muted yourself again, Will. The Little Huffer. How it's quite effective.
The little huffer gets used a lot.
Yep. You want to explain that?
I don't know. I'm having technical issues here.
I know. It's not a good night for technical issues. So we might keep this show a little short, folks, just because we're having technical issues, and that might drain your energy, and we don't want to do that to you. This is about encouraging energy growth, correct? Right, Bob?
Yeah, as he drops off.
Yes, as he drops off again. It's something in the air.
So I take it. What are you calling the little huffer?
The little huffer is actually, it's a little glass canister. You shake it up. What that is golden seal. Put in, it's like a dust, basically. It's quite small particles. Mm-hmm. And what you do after you shake that up is you open that canister and you take a real deep breath in, and it's great stuff. And helped me and JoJo this year. We were both on it, and I didn't get one of those coughs like I usually do. So I don't, I'm gonna give it credit there. I think that's what that was. You've never been on it, huh, Bob?
No, I rarely do anything like that. If I do, it's just MMS and the little nasal spray jar.
Okay.
We just had our cedar season here like a month ago.
I've heard of that. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's actually pretty wild. People have called the fire department because it looks like the woods are on fire, and it's just pollen dust.
Wow.
Yeah, so that's how bad it gets here. But everybody that I've given that to that lives here said it's the only thing that's ever cleared up their allergies. Because it's weird. When you first move here, you don't have it. The longer you stay here, the worse it gets.
Ah, interesting. Yeah, Will is texting me that he's having some problems getting on, so I don't know if he'll be back with us, but it was fun talking to you while you were on, Will.
He said he's having thunderstorms there, so who knows?
Yeah, it does have its limitations here. However, I think we got our points across tonight. We could keep it short, no problem. And Cheryl, was there anything else you wanted to add in? Anything else going on? Body, electrician, community kitchen. That is a mouthful, but
no other Q&A from you?
No, so far no Q&A. Let's see. Let's see a little. No, I don't think anybody's joining on, or they're still having trouble finding a way to those questions, posting a question.
Okay.
What, Bob?
I said okay.
Okay.
Just asking.
All right.
That video that you put together about the acidophilus, this was really great. It's just a short little video, and you're going to be making some more of those and putting them on YouTube, get the word out about everything.
Yeah, that was quite effective. I don't know if it was because it was nice and short like that, but yeah, that's going viral, or at least we hope it is anyway. But that was at one of the lectures that Will did. And I was just taking little clips here and there. I just would, and the best of I kept, and I put it on, and people seem to really find that interesting. But I found it interesting too, because there's a lot of that going on. People get quite affected by the acidophilus, and people are downing it like it's candy or something. I mean,
yeah.
Go ahead.
Oh yeah, I was even looking that over. This evening, and there was a comment, Lisa C., it's a regular commenter here, and she was saying that she was eating all sorts of cultured food, and she was trying to heal an autoimmune disease and got hardcore about eating only the best things for her body. She thought she was doing the right thing, drinking a ton of kombucha and eating cultured food every day, and just taking tons of supplements, and she got worse. And she ended up with SIBO. I don't know exactly what that is, but she says that since she's been working with Will, she feels a lot better after just 2 weeks. But it comes and goes. But it's great to hear that. I love that's what the great thing about doing what we do, working with Will, is hearing, people's health getting better.
Absolutely. Yeah, I was speaking to her. We text once in a while, and she's great. She's feeling a lot better, which is great. So I'd like to get her on. That's a shout out to you, Lisa. You got to come on the
Yep.
show with us.
Uh-huh.
But she said she needs a little more time. She just wants to really rev things up, and then she'll come on. How you doing, Will?
Well, I don't know. You're sounding a little better this time.
Good. Well, we missed you, but we're glad you're back. Oh, I see Ethan.
Ethan and Willie. Yeah.
Hi, Ethan. So, all right, guys, because we're having a little difficulty tonight, I think we covered a lot of stuff. And Bob, thank you so much for coming on and sharing your story. I didn't ask you about what's going on with the, you don't want to show your face because you probably punch me right through the screen here, but
Why would I do that?
I don't know. This might be fun. I don't know. Go ahead. So someone commented on that. That's the reason I'm bringing that up. Somebody was like, "What's up with him? Why doesn't he show his face?" So I thought I'd ask you, and you could punch anyway. Who's writing that? You don't know the dialogue that's going on behind the scenes, folks.
Well, there's certainly more than one reason for it, but I'll give you the reasons as it pertains to this. Number one, I started doing this because Will asked me to come on the radio as a client of his, and that was, I don't know how many years ago, and it sort of took off from there. The second thing is originally my screen name was No One. Like literally, the doctor thing got hung on there by Patrick Jordan after the Bond villain. It's got nothing to do with any accreditation. And the third thing is kind of why I started doing this at the beginning in the first place, is you people are out of your mind. Okay? You live in virtual reality. You live in a world where if you watch a YouTube video, something's real for you. You have any idea how many people have said to me, like, well, if you know this, make a video. If you know that, make a video. What the fuck is a video? Make me an expert? The fact that I've lived my life and done the things that you people watch videos about is where I get my experience from, and I don't need to prove that to anybody, nor do I want to. You can choose to believe me or choose to not believe me. I don't care. It's immaterial to me. It's not my life. It's your life. So from that perspective alone, no. What do I need to show my face for? I'm nobody to you people, and I don't expect to be, nor do I want to be. If it helps anybody, some of the things I say, hey, it's great. It's things I discovered in life. But other than that, no. I think the problem is people exist too much here. I would have never found quote unquote here if I didn't get sick. But I think people live too much here and live too different a life here in virtual reality than they do in the real world, as evident by the people that I meet coming into the world and going through the world, especially when it pertains to health. I'm like, where do you get this stuff from? Oh, some guy in a video. So you watch a video on YouTube and you're diagnosing health problems because of it. Okay, there's a real good plan there.
Well, you're very active in your community and you're very involved, but it does make sense to keep your face off of here. I mean,
but it's not.
I've done it. I don't.
It's not. Well, it is a choice. But listen to what you just said. You're active in the community. No, I'm not active in the community. This is the way I choose to live my life. And if I want to live my life that way, yes, then I need to move through time and space that way. And then the people that are near me have sympathetic thoughts. So no, I'm not active in any community. That's my point. Okay? That's the difference. Okay? These communities are a bunch of people with nothing better to do, okay, that have some sort of difficult reason why they're doing this. Okay, they're completely missing a lot of it. Okay, as opposed to if you just go out and change one thing about your life in the real physical world, you'll be surprised at cascading effects how many things it changes, and it's not that difficult. Okay, so no, I'm not part of a community. It just so happens that a bunch of people that think like I do keep showing up in the same places I show up in. Shocking.
Right. Well, thank you for sharing that.
No problem.
Very honest, and that's what we love about you, Bob. You're very honest, and those comments, they come from people who have their own issues as well.
Oh,
So,
I don't care. It's like I said, it's not my life, it's their lives. I live my life, and that's just it. I mean, I live it the best I can. I do the best I can. I help people. I help people when I can. Although I confess I help animals more because generally speaking, they're way better than people. And they are. And that's that. So every time I see something on Facebook that says, if you cared, you'd share this. No, if you cared, you'd get up off your ass and stop pretending that passing a picture around makes a difference.
good point. I know. It becomes very real to people on here. It's kind of a trick, isn't it?
Hey, you pressed the like button. We must be BFFs for life. I know when the bullets are flying at me, you're the first person I'm not going to be calling. Seriously.
Good point. Charlie, you're very...
Everything's a double-edged sword. It's got its good points. It's got its bad points. It can be great for communication. It can be great for sharing information. It can be great for a lot of things. But it's just like anything else. Too much is too much, and if you use it wrong, you pay the consequences.
Right. Well, we enjoy having you on here, Bob, because, like I said, you do add a certain amount of fire to our show.
My political correctness classes will be starting next week.
No, I love that. I mean, I think that really shakes people out of their unconsciousness sometimes, because no one speaks like that. Everyone is PC lately, and so there's something missing, and that's what you bring to the table, as far as I can say. And so thank you again for joining us.
Thank you. Nobody's ever complained of anything missing, usually just the opposite. Whoa, 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 too much. Back it down.
Right. Cheryl, my dear, anything else you'd like to add before we end here?
I think we've done the best we can with Will disappearing and coming and going.
That's true. Well, I guess I'm going to say sayonara. Everybody, thank you so much for joining us. And again, you can catch us on YouTube. It goes right there automatically. You can go to my page, Nancy Piscatello, and if you can also go back to Body Electrician Community Kitchen. I hope you'll join us. We're close to 400 members now, so we're going to keep boosting that. And tell people about it and join us in the conversation. So thank you again, everybody. We're going to say goodnight.
Good night.
Good night. Good night, Bob.
Good night.
Good night, Bob.
Good night. Press the damn good night button already.